This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Today's guest is Jade King, Kung Fu master and Northern and Southern style Kung Fu. He's a business coach, one of the key figures at Inner Access Coaching, and this is a 25-year-old coaching organization that helps entrepreneurs, small business owners, and professionals really awaken their inner power. He brings ancient Kung Fu wisdom into the modern world of coaching, helping high performers develop resilience, presence, discipline, and clarity, both in business and in life. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Jill?
Great. Pleasure to have you here. First
Uh,
and foremost, want to get to know you a little bit.
sure,
Where
sure,
are you
sure.
from, by the way?
Well, originally I was born in Haiti, born and raised in Haiti,
Wow.
and I moved to the Congo in Africa at that time, and I since I was young I lived here in New York, so I've
Oh
been
my
here
God.
since I was young. So that's how it all started.
Beautiful. But you're helping people all over the
Absolutely,
world, right?
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely,
Well, we're
absolutely.
going to get to know you one on one. Let's talk a little bit about your origin, and
Sure, sure,
your
sure,
philosophy. So,
sure,
start
sure.
off by, telling us a little bit about yourself and about this journey. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, no problem. So my journey started poof, close to like 30 years ago studying Kung Fu, you know.
Okay.
So at first it was about physical mastery,
Yep.
technique,
Mm-hmm.
power, and skill.
Of
But
course.
but but as I trained, I realized Kung Fu was a philosophy,
Oh.
right? A philosophy of life, right? It taught me balance, humility, kindness, patience, diligence, resilience, and the importance of being present, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so over time, it became more than a martial art,
Yeah.
right? It became my way of life,
Okay.
right? And I still practice kung fu, of course. I still teach and still do that, right? So it helped me as it became my way of life. It helped open my lens for understanding people,
Mm.
right? And the foundation of how, and that foundation kind of led me to how to coach others. So
Got it.
that's how it worked. And so I saw that people who were achieving in business or life were often stressed, overwhelmed, or lacking purpose. Right. So Kung Fu had given me the tools to remain
Mm-hmm.
grounded and clear no matter what the chaos. And that's when I realized that, you know what? Uh, that mental and emotional and spiritual training within Kung Fu could help others navigate life, life's challenges, right?
Yeah.
With power, with grace, with ease. And that's when I emerged the two, coaching and Kung Fu to create transformational results. And yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing this. And
Sure.
let's talk a little bit about what really inspired you to become a
hmm
coach and how did you make this connection between Kung
hmm
Fu and personal development? And hey,
hmm
some people might not even know the basics of Kung Fu and what that means. Could you just
Right.
tell us?
Sure,
Thank
sure.
you.
So Kung Fu, just to give it a simple background what that is, right? Um, to put it simply,
Okay.
Kung Fu is basically, how should I put it? Hmm. I want to put it in a term that everybody understands what that
Okay.
means, right? So Kung Fu means skilled,
Mhm.
achieved through effort over time,
Okay.
right?
Perfect.
So it's not just about fighting,
Makes
right?
sense. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
about it's about mastering yourself through
Mm-hmm.
deliberate practice. So
Okay.
so I teach my clients, that every challenge is a form, every setback is a training session, and life itself is an arena,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So
Got it.
when you approach life, you approach kung fu present, purposeful, and precise. And then when you do that, you become unstoppable,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's the true meaning. It's skilled, achieved through effort and time. So what do you have with effort and time? You have discipline, you have focus, you have balance, you have awareness. All that construed together. Now, I don't tell my clients to do the push-ups or the sit-ups, right? I
Yeah.
guide them through changing their mindset with the Kung Fu philosophy. Like Bruce Lee always says, be like water. So I show them how to be like water in the
Mm-hmm.
situations that arise in front of them, no matter what it is. That
Beautiful.
makes
Well,
sense.
it does make sense. All right. Well, we'll continue now here. A little bit more about,
Sure.
really the inspiration of becoming a coach and the philosophy behind
hmm
all this
hmm
and what you're
hmm
doing at Inner Access.
Right, right. So just a little background by InterAccess, right? So InterAccess is a transformational coaching company, that
Mm-hmm.
helps entrepreneurs, small business owners, and other professionals who are driven and focused, but
Mm-hmm.
often struggle with work-life balance, stress, and scaling effectively, right?
Yep.
So we are a team of specialized coaches. We call ourselves the InterAccess Avengers team, right? So each have a unique expertise to guide individuals toward personal and professional growth. My specialty as a Kung Fu master lies in using the ancient principles of Kung Fu, right, to for adapted for modern life,
Okay.
to help individuals awaken their inner power, their inner strength, and clarity. So through customized coaching programs, group coaching,
Mm-hmm.
and one-on-one sessions, we help clients, develop resilience, balance, discipline, and focus. That's what
Beautiful.
it was. And it's been around for 25 years to be it's been exist for 25 years. So with that, we've guided people from all walks of life through professional transformation, inner mastery. So our long-standing success is built on deep commitment to practical results, spiritual
Mm-hmm.
insight, and lasting change.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And to continue further, a little bit
Sure.
about, you mentioned it's seen as a martial art, but it really is
hmm
this whole life philosophy. And we're going to get into more of the coaching and Kung Fu
hmm
integration, find out
hmm
some of the principles behind all this too.
Sure, sure. So one of the key principles, from Kung Fu that I bring to my coaching sessions is these very important concepts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Presence, discipline, awareness,
Okay.
flow, right? And
Mm-hmm.
internal power. I teach clients how to be present in the moment, right?
Beautiful.
Stay focused on what matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And move with intention. That's important. Move with intention. I also bring in the breath work, right? The movement, energy training, when appropriate, of course, because
Mm-hmm.
these principles cultivate clarity, strength, not just for business,
Okay.
but for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bring those principles in because you know if we kind of help clients translate physical discipline into emotional and mental mastery, right? So we go deep. Interactions is just isn't about performance, right? It's about transformation, right? We like I mentioned, we're a team of coaches and with our own specialty. So clients get a full spectrum of support, mind, body, and spirit. And
Mm-hmm.
what I bring the ancient wisdom of Kung Fu integrated
Perfect.
with modern technology, modern strategy, right?
Yeah.
And that blend is rare. You don't see that. A Kung Fu, master and a coach. That's rare.
Mm-mm.
So I bring that together, which brings it to very unique, and it changes lives instantly.
Beautifully said. I love it. All right. We're
Thank you.
learning more here. If you are just tuning in about our friend and, of course, all that he does, this is exciting. Jade King,
Sure.
our Kung Fu master and business coach here from Inner Access Coaching, joining us live today. And we're talking about all the benefits we're going to get to a little more about the coaching, the integration, and even, how this transformation is going
hmm
on. All
hmm
right. What next, Jade?
So one of the things that I do, people ask me, so how do you help clients maintain balance, right, in
Yeah.
high pressure world while still chasing success, right? That's the main thing, right? So what I tell them is that listen, I teach how to make balance non-negotiable.
Okay.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
you know, we build strength, we build structure around their energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you know, daily rituals. Now, when I say daily rituals, I'm not talking about any religious concept. I'm talking about practice,
Yeah.
discipline, right? So breath work. You will be very surprised how a lot of people do not know how to breathe. Within Kung Fu, traditional style kung fu, you have to know how to breathe to perform a punch, a kick, right? Breathing
Mm-hmm.
is very powerful because you're breathing from your dan tien, which is below your diaphragm. That's your power center. That's your power source. So you don't have to be a kung fu expert to understand that. So I bring
Yeah.
that coaching to let them know that when you understand how to breathe, you have that power. Not only that, it's also about the mindset practices, right? That in itself creates internal stability, right? No matter what's happening externally,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not about slowing down. It's about moving from a place of centered power instead of chaos. And that's how I, have individuals maintain their balance in high pressure situations in a high pressure world, as you see what's going on right now, right?
Got it.
So,
Yeah.
so, what does that do? What does that, it basically, how do I guide people to get there?
Mm-hmm.
So one is understanding that you can have a fulfilled and powerful life,
Yeah.
and what that looks like. A fulfilled life is one where you are deeply connected with your purpose, right? Right, fully present in your actions, and unshaken by the noise of the world, noise of chaos. It's not about perfection, right? It's about alignment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guide people there by helping them remember who they are,
Yep.
right? And build the discipline to protect that truth of who they are
Yep.
and step into each day with clarity and power.
Wow.
That's what I help them guide through.
Love it, love it, love it. Well, thank you for sharing that. And
Sure, sure,
also, we
sure,
have a lot to get to today. We're
sure.
excited to be talking to you and to learn more about all this
Sure, sure.
integration and how it's
Mhm,
working. Where do we
mhm.
leave off? We have so many notes. I just want to make sure we're going,
Sure, sure, absolutely.
what's next? What's next?
Well. What about what does it mean to when I talk about inner power? What does that mean, right? And what does that look like? So awakening, inner power means reconnecting to strength and clarity and the purpose that's already inside you, right? Most people are externally focused, chasing results, fighting fires. So I help them, turn inward. How do I do that? I use the common technologies. I call these technologies because
Yeah.
we all know what it is: meditation, right? Visualization, right? Breath work, and also mindset shifts. So these things allow you to, stop reacting and start leading from the inside out,
Yeah.
right? And at the same time, it kind of allows you to remember who you are, and once you start understanding that, it changes everything. It builds from there. So, one of the common blocks that I see in high achieving individuals and is perfectionism and control,
Yeah.
right? So high achiever often fear failure. So what do they try to do? They try to force everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, what kung fu teaches that control isn't strength, right? It's flow, right? Flow is strength. So I help them realize the need to control, not to control the outcomes, but instead build the confidence in the ability to adapt and respond skillfully to whatever arises,
Yeah. Ooh,
right?
I might be able to do some of this. I think we all can, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
I also want to hear how you're helping clients do this and some
Oh, yeah,
stories
yeah.
behind it
So,
all.
so,
I
so,
just don't want to go out
so,
of order.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, 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 that's okay. No, no, it's fine. It's fine. So, one story I could share, um, is I had one client that was stuck in a cycle of burnout, right? Constantly trying to prove themselves in their business, right? So I,
Mm-hmm.
I so I taught them the principle of yielding.
Mm.
Yeah, I taught them the principle of yielding, and in a way, it's put it simply, not
Ah,
giving up,
okay.
not giving up. but redirecting that energy, right? Redirecting. So it's just like in Kung Fu, right? Sometimes the way forward in Kung Fu is not
Okay.
through, it's not through pushing harder, right? But flowing around the resistance,
Never
right?
thought of it that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just flowing around that resistance because when that shift, when you start understanding that shift changed
Is.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when they realized that, he they started rebuilding their business with balance,
Yeah.
peace, with balance and peace instead of stress and strain,
Yeah.
right? So it's all about and so what so they tell me so Jade King, that's great. But what does that mean? Because you always say master yourself, not the moment. What does that mean? Well, if you look at that, it means that you can't control life. You just can't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you can control how you show up,
Interesting.
right? So when you master your emotions, your energy, your focus, you no longer react to fear or stress. And
Mm.
that's what Kung Fu has taught me. And I share that principle with my clients. So when you start realizing that, you respond from a place of power.
Okay.
That's where your truth lies, from that
Ooh,
place.
it must. Yes.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Totally does.
Yeah. Yeah. So in a way, when you start seeing that, right, it starts becoming it's kung fu. It starts becoming like a training, mirror to the path of success,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because kung fu training is structured, repetitive, and intentional,
Yeah.
right? So is success,
Hmm.
right? With structured, repetitive, intentional. So is success, right? So you don't get results from rushing or skipping steps.
No, 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 no.
I don't teach a punch or a kick by skipping the steps, right? So you build your foundation through what? Stance work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Breath work, awareness, right? So I show my clients, I show my clients to build their awareness, their discipline. How does that look like? Their focus. How does that look like? And then when you refine it every day, it becomes solid. So business, like kung fu, is about consistency,
Yeah.
adaptation, mastering the basics, right, before reaching for the advance,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's how I fuse the two worlds together, and that makes it very transformational.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
Yes.
and this work that you're doing, continuing to do,
Right.
it's pretty fascinating because the coaching and all, you're helping so many, and it's like this bigger
Mhm.
impact of what's happening. And there's so
Mhm.
many other coaching programs out there, but what would you say makes, Interaccess unique?
Um, good question. So it what it does is that it blends wisdom, accountability, and empowerment, right, to create a real transformation, right? So we teach our clients how to move through these moments with awareness, right? With adaptability and intention. So as a team, we basically have a personal approach
Mm-hmm.
that draws from decades of 3 decades of kung fu mastery. So I help my clients into that every form, every strike, you know, every still moment is a metaphor for life struggles, right? Kung fu teaches that, true mastery is about dominating the outside world. It's about conquering the self.
Mm-hmm.
We guide our clients to develop clarity, emotional control, and deep, mindset shifts, to allow you to really, handle pressure with strength,
Yeah.
turning setbacks into stepping stones for deeper growth.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm very
Wow.
passionate about this, you can
I
tell.
see this. All right. Well, we still got a few more minutes left. I just want to
Sure,
make sure
sure,
we're
sure.
covering
No,
mostly everything. I
absolutely.
know there's a
Absolutely.
lot. So, what else did you want to make sure we cover in our
Um,
last 5 minutes?
well, well, um, well, one of the things that inspired me to do this even more is that within my 3 decades of kung fu practice and training, I recognize how deeply, you know, the art, the martial art,
Yeah.
mirrors life, right? And how much people could benefit from its principles,
Mm-hmm.
right? Beyond the martial arts classes, beyond the
Mm-hmm.
kung fu classes, right? So many people, are successful externally, right? They are, but internally, they're overwhelmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're scattered, right? Or disconnected from their purpose. So Kung Fu, and it still does, teaches me, right, that the value of presence, the
Mm-hmm.
value of discipline, focus, balance, and
Yeah,
resilience. And resilience, that's the key, resilience.
it
You
is.
know,
Yeah.
and I saw how these values could revolutionize how people show up in their business, in their relationships, and their inner world, right?
Yeah.
So that inspiration led me to coach others, using the Asian philosophy, to create powerful transformations into modern life.
Wow. Powerful stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, welcome. And there's still so much more about, how you're helping people out there maybe stuck and not feeling like
Hmm.
themselves,
Hmm.
maybe lack of purpose,
Hmm.
little disconnected.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
what would you say is the first step to reclaiming back this power?
Well, one of the things that um, one of the things that is I show individuals how to be present and aware at the moment,
Okay.
right? And stay focused on what matters to you at that moment,
Yeah.
right? And move with intention, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the key because you know discipline, right, is the bridge between intention
Yep.
and result,
Mm-hmm.
right? So without it, potential means potential,
Sure does.
right? But discipline doesn't have to be harsh,
Mm-mm. No.
right? So true
No.
so true discipline is loving commitment to your growth. So what
Loving
I
the
when,
self. Yes.
yeah, yes, you got it. So that's the key. So I teach my clients. We teach the clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is to build rituals. Like I said, not a religious context, but more like daily practices, not based on rules, but to
Yeah.
approach, but to approach this practice with devotion rather than pressure. Whatever the practice is, it could be simple as this, right? Every day, wake up, be grateful. Do that every day,
Yeah.
right?
Got a
Every
lot to be
day,
thankful
I
for.
absolutely, because one of the things is that you woke up. So people use sight of that. So I kind of bring that back 360, and my clients say, "Oh, right, Jake, you're right." I said, "Yeah." So let's go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go from there. So that basic understanding in itself goes a long way,
Sure does. It
you know.
does. It really does. All right, we got 2 more minutes left, Jade King. Sorry.
Sure. That's
How,
okay. That's
what
okay.
else did you want to add to the show? Yeah, we're almost out of time.
Oh wow, wow, wow. Just I mean, one of the things I want to say is I want listeners to know that my role is not just to coach, but to guide. I walk with you through life's most challenging experiences, not to fight them, but to
Yeah.
master them, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so, so as a kung fu master, I teach that every obstacle is an opportunity, every moment is a lesson,
Mm-hmm.
every challenge can become a source of strength.
Sure
right?
can.
So,
Yeah.
and my coaching style is rooted in stillness, discipline, focus, consistency, clarity, and inner power. So I bring those values in every session. You know,
Yeah.
setbacks are not failures; they are part of your training.
Yeah.
So when you master yourself, you become unshakable. That's all I'm gonna
Beautifully
say.
said. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
You're
Tell
very
us how we
welcome.
can contact
Oh,
you,
so so
please.
so actually, you can contact me via email at jadeking@interaccess.net. All right. You can reach me on that. And my website is www.interaccess.net.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Pleasure getting to
Great.
know you today.
Pleasure,
Looking
pleasure.
forward to the next time we get to connect. Really
Absolutely, absolutely.
amazing
Thank you.
job. And I want to hear some more of these amazing impacts and powerful stories of the
Sure.
people you're helping next time. Okay.
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
Thank
Pleasure
you
meeting
again,
you.
Jay King. Same here. Bye bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.